Welcome to your exploration of the Gemini zodiac sign. Gemini, the twins, ruling over skills and knowledge, ruled by the planet Mercury, the one that controls the intellect and the mind. Mercury is mutable air, this adaptable masculine energy that is all about the dialogue and conversations we have with others in our local community, ruling over our neighbors in particular. Gemini also rules over our daily logistics, how we get from A to Z, moving about our space in daily life, and our essential workers in that case, and also how we communicate with our neighbors. Did I say that? Gemini rules over neighbors. This is about getting all grassroots, and with the north node of the moon moving through Gemini from 2020 until January 2023, I think, for the next 2 years or so. This is us all downshifting our collective destiny away from the big globalization and international travel and into the local supply chain, local logistics. It's about getting all grassroots and connecting with our neighbors, really doing work locally rather than globally. Gemini is really a lively, energetic, and versatile sign, wanting this witty repartee, this witty engagement, because it loves to indulge in the fluctuations of the mind. It loves to change its mind. Being a mutable air sign, it's about getting new facts and information and just consuming those for the pure enjoyment of endlessly consuming useless information. But more so, Gemini thrives when it applies that information at the correct moment in time, and that information becomes real knowledge. So Gemini is known as being a very knowledgeable sign, and indeed its domain, the third house, is the library. So you can just think about going to your local library and just getting lost in books and just enjoying having the mind so engaged in this way. Its tarot sign is the Lovers. And of course, we can see there the duality of the twins, Gemini. It's really this polarity and this duality of life and the listening and responding, the conversation that happens. And yet Gemini can tend to get really bored. It just wants something new all the time to stimulate the mind. And so can tend, even when someone becomes interested in a Gemini, they're already bored. I have my Venus in Gemini and my wounded healer Chiron in Gemini. So I can feel that energy coming through. I personally love my Gemini friends because they're always going to be available for an instant chat. They're just going to be responsive to anything that's going to be like mentally, cerebrally engaging and stimulating. The Lovers here representing this polarity and duality. I also feel the Two of Swords is a great card for Gemini. The swords are the air sign, and the two is like this duality and polarity of like being at a crossroads almost as well. So here I'm going to enhance our exploration of the Gemini archetype and energy, again with our awesome book, the only astrology book you'll ever need. Gemini season begins May 21st and it ends June 20th. So Gemini can express itself through any of the 10 planets. We would consider the moon a planet, or even wounded healer Chiron, a minor comet that we like to use in modern astrology, or any of the asteroids too. If you're really into astrology, you might know about Black Moon Lilith or these Ceres, these awesome asteroids too. So Gemini can express itself also if it's not activating a planet in the sky at the moment or in your natal chart, which is a picture of the sky at the moment you were born. Gemini can be activated in one of your houses. It is absolutely in your birth chart somewhere, whether or not there's a planet activating it. It will fall within one of the 12 houses, or maybe even two, depending on the astrological house system that you're using. Of course, Gemini will love all these facts. Gemini loves to gather facts and information and will change its mind too. Unlike, a more stubborn sign or fixed sign, Gemini will be really open and receptive to shaping and molding new thoughts and new ideas. Ruled by Mercury, the fast-moving planet closest to the sun, this mischievous planet, and so Gemini is known to be a little bit mischievous as well. And Mercury is the messenger of the gods. So it's the messenger. It's about sending and receiving messages, and it's about communication. So absolutely, Gemini energy is always apparent in the way we communicate. Have you ever known someone who just is a terrible communicator, especially when it comes to technology? Like they can't write an email to save their life. This person would really benefit from working actively to embody more Gemini energy and working with the planet Mercury. So how can you work to call upon the planet Mercury and Gemini energy in particular? You could work with Gemini's special colors, yellow, because yellow is the sign of novelty and Gemini loves novelty. It's also bright and luminous, and Gemini is really attractive in that way, being so curious about the world. And its metal is Mercury. The flowers are lily of the valley and lavender. So if you wanted to work with the Gemini magic, its ruling day of the week is Wednesday, of course, because its ruling planet is Mercury, and Mercury's day of the week is Wednesday, and the lucky numbers are 5 and 9. So you might adorn yourself or your altar in yellow on a Wednesday and get some lavender and do offerings to Mercury, god that rules over travel, logistics, and communication. Even when Mercury is retrograde, you might create some magical ritual of your own making, if you're so inspired, to start to harmonize and create a better relationship with this planet that rules over our travel and communications and moves retrograde 3 times per year. So the Gemini says, I think. That's the verb. It's all about the thinking mind here. And its polarity is Sagittarius. So across the zodiacal wheel, 180 degrees around this 360-degree circle, we have the higher fire of Sagittarius. Interesting, I want to mention now that the first 6 signs are below the horizon, and then the next 6 signs of our 12 are above the horizon. These are more concerned with the worldly human affairs, and Gemini is known to be a very human sign and expressing the human qualities of, being intellectual, adaptable, and communicative. And then above, starting with the 7th sign Libra and all the way over to Pisces, these are more celestial signs that are more maybe even older souls, like more mature energies or more spiritual energies. Not better or worse, we need both, but this is the heavens and this is the earth. So I thought that was an interesting fact that I could introduce to stimulate your mind with this Gemini expose. So Gemini, across the way from Sagittarius, is about the thinking mind, thoughts on a personal level, a human level of day-to-day interactions with our neighbors. And Sagittarius is about seeking truth and philosophical knowledge, ruling over even higher education. So Gemini is like the local library, and Sagittarius is like the university level. And Sagittarius is going to go to the ends of the earth, climb the mountain, and expand its awareness in pursuit of the ultimate truth. But Gemini is really more interested in turning the page and getting to the next fact that's going to stimulate the mind and delight the intellect. Very interesting now with the south node of the moon for the next 2 years in Sagittarius, moving away from this energy and into our local communities here in Gemini, getting closer with our neighbors. 2, Gemini rules over the hands, the arms, the shoulders, and the lungs. They're susceptible to strains and accidents involving arms and hands, and also prone to bronchitis and respiratory ailments. The magical birthstone is agate. Agate. A multicolored precious stone that protects from deception and falsehood and bestows eloquence, especially in declaration of love. Did I mention the cities London, San Francisco, Versailles, Melbourne? Countries, United States, Wales, Belgium. Ruling over birds and butterflies. I love that. And the dangers for Gemini are prone to accidents while traveling, especially by air. Their fickle nature also tend to arouse unexpected anger in others, the depth of which Geminis often misjudge. So here, this is a responsive sign. It's about listening and responding in this engaged way. And let's see what else we can pull from our incredible book before we engage in a little meditation that will support the Gemini energies. Restless. It's saying the astrological symbol should be the question mark because they're a perpetual student of life who never stops asking questions, loving to talk to people, and this is the great secret of Gemini's charm. They have the gift of persuasion, and they could sell ice in Greenland. A quick mind can explain any action, defend any position, justify any course. And their weakness is superficiality. So whereas Sagittarius is going to just go to the ends of the earth to attain wisdom and knowledge, here Gemini can tend towards just like superficially skimming over things. So the difference between going really deep or going really far almost in the information that it's gathering. So also on the other side of the coin, with the superficiality of just quickly grasping at ideas and skimming the surface, it can understand something with very little preparation. It can just quickly adapt and understand a new idea and even present on that topic. A really powerful gift of writing, speaking, and self-expression. So when some famous Geminis, Marilyn Monroe, you can see some of that energy, a lot of that energy personified in Marilyn, and even, let's end there. Beautiful. Let's begin a little meditation, coming to a seat and closing down the eyes, softening the gaze as you feel your sit bones on the earth. Aligning through the spine for a moment, opening up through your core channel, Sushumna Nadi, the plumb line along the spine, and then bringing your awareness to the top of your head, seeing if you can feel every single hair on your head, and shifting your awareness just for a moment to the crown, this void or empty space above the head. And then bringing your awareness down to your third eye, Ajna Chakra, the mental command center. Using the power of your mind to focus here. And maybe even gazing up with your two eyes between the eyebrows, engaging the optic nerve. And from this space, gazing out through the Chitta Kasha, the blank space behind the forehead. And here, just noticing the weather pattern of the mind today. Has the mind been slow and lethargic since you woke up today? Or perhaps it's been fast, jumping from thought to thought. Or maybe the mind has been calm, peaceful, and serene. And just taking a moment to notice the thoughts. And becoming aware that as you are able to observe your thoughts, therefore you are not your thoughts. You are the observer, the awareness, like the vast sky. Simply observe the clouds passing by, the thought forms, impermanent, temporal, transient, and changing. See them as unreal. If you like to delight in these clouds passing by, beautiful. And at the same time, rather than identifying with the thought form, maintaining this powerful, profound, vast, expansive witness consciousness, identifying with yourself, the awareness that has always been there, while the thoughts have been fleeting and changing, mutating, impermanent and unreal. Just focusing here with the optic nerve engaged, the eyes looking up at the space behind the forehead. Breathing in, breathing out. Just taking a moment to contemplate. Yoga is Chitta Vritti Nirodha. What is yoga? Yoga is the cessation of the mental fluctuations of the thought forms, the arresting of the thought forms. Absorbing in the pure, vast, eternal consciousness, rather than getting caught in the current of samsara, illusion, in the mind, the monkey mind. And with endless compassion, just gently bringing the mind back to the present moment if it's wandered. and even celebrating the moment that you realize your mind has drifted, because it is natural to do so. And then when you're ready, having completed your meditation, gently opening the eyes and coming back. Thank you for joining this exploration of the Gemini energy. Namaste.